Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm in Cypress Hills Projects. I'm in the parking lot of the park. I'm showing you this big wall right here because it used to be a lot bigger back in the days and taller. This is where, you know, most of the time they got graffiti on it. And this is where the gang called the Black Messiahs had their name posted up on this wall. They was a group of young black and Latino brothers that wasn't going for police just killing young black and brown men without it being any type of repercussions. So every time they killed a young black man innocently, we had the Black Messiahs to step to the situation. I'm gonna take you into the park where I first learned how to play organized football with a cat called Big Ben on the East New York Vikings. As you can see, it's a lot more beautiful. They got some real grass out here, a track and field. Up here in the bleachers is where we used to have Black Family Day back in the 70s. You know, Randy Hudsonic Light show. They was from the middle of the projects. They used to put lights and speakers up all over. You also had the Dance Masters from Brownsville. They had the 456 CeeLo, which was created by another man that they don't give no credit in the hip hop world, called Mr. Ellis. He had the Kickin' Coffin, and not only did he make the Kickin' Coffin, which was 2 turntables in a coffin, but he also made the Pete Caboose, which was a train. And, you know, they used to come out to the park. Cypress was well known for playing music, especially Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday. But anyway, Mr. Ellis made the Pete Caboose. He also made MC Haswell, which was a guy from Pine Street, and he made the MC. Mr. Ellis was very creative, way, way ahead of his time in the music world. You know, founding father of true hip hop in the park, collect, you know, hook your electricity up to the light and do your thing. I'm gonna walk the track, but this is also the first park that played baseball, all that stuff. We in front of the 2 buildings right here where LD was from. My man Abijab, his brother Albino, I think his name is Pookie if I'm not mistaken. If I said your name wrong, you know what I'm talking about. But he was the one that was on the roof when David Dinkins came to the project and allegedly was shooting down on them with an AK-47. I was young in this park too. I seen a gang member, or what they called the Ghetto Brothers back then. And he was on one of those little bikes with the, you know, the Sissy bar. When I walked in, he had a big butcher knife stuck in his back. I remember right over here when I was young, coming from TSS, had a little beef with the great Shakim. Spent 44 years, or 45 years in the penal institution. Also, may he rest in power. But if it wasn't for my big brother at that time, from the gang days named Priest, you know, to when he got knowledge, his name was Phil Marshall, born Prince Conrad. If you know any of the Max facilities, you know that the Field Marshal is the brother that keeps the brothers organized, well-trained for any type of physical war. But he was the individual that night that stopped the Shakim from doing anything. Yeah, this is where we all played ball. Keith Watkins, Robbie Rice, my man Eric Harris, so many ball players, you know. Barry Elliott, Linwood, Yoke, Big Bliss, Bob Powell, DJ, John Hall, all them brothers, you know, when I was young growing up. You see over here, you know, we used to have a lot of dice games over here between the basketball court. Used to be seesaws right here back in the days, you know. This is over here where they used to play the music, you know. The DJs, they were set up, not right here, but they were set up right over here. Mr. Ellis. This is where the DJ set up. There wasn't no benches and all this stuff that was out here. That used to be a big sandbox. The benches used to be lined up back here, you know. They done a marvelous thing with this park over here for the kids, you know. But this is where the benches used to be at. This right here, where this bench is, used to be a small sandbox. This is the first place that I learned not to eat swine, pork. Because of that dude who Glaze talked about, one of the guys who he was afraid of, named Rasta T. I was knowledge, wisdom years old, 12 years old at that time, you know. And he was like, stop, the swine is no good for you. It got worms in it. And over there on Pine Street, we used to do a lot of gambling over there in Peanut House, me, Jesus, you know, Glaze, brother Kool-Aid, bunch of us. When we really started getting money, we couldn't be out in the open, so the big games we would have across the street. But anyway, it used to be a liquor store over there on the corner. So he sent for a piece of fat back, and it was real hot, and he threw it out in the middle of the sandbox, and he had somebody go over there and get some alcohol and come back and pour it on it. And then I seen a bunch of worms come out, and that was the end of my career with eating pork. Even before, you know, I became righteous, which was about 2 years after that. I was 12, which was knowledge, wisdom. I got the knowledge. when I was knowledge culture and freedom, which is 14. Like I said, y'all can see the bleachers. I just was laughing with D.O. the other day. We was talking about Tank, Reginald Norris, and he used to come up here after Black Family Day. He was about 8 years old, and he'd be picking up all the roaches, you know, and re-rolling them. I'm gonna go a little bit more into the projects, or a little, you know, tour some of the little events that later on in life, later on down the line, I'll probably make some little, you know, scenes for these events and go more into detail. But anyway, we headed now toward the 1200 buildings. You know, used to have a lot of nice dice games over here, especially under 1200. My man William Bennett, you know, Big Head KV, that's Abby. May Abby rest in peace, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take you over here by Jesus building. Peace, what's up, baby?
I was like, the last time I saw you was me and you and Arif.
Right. Arif gonna be home in 63 days. I just talked to him yesterday.
Definitely say Cat, say what up, because I know.
You know I got you, Cat. You official. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing.
When I went to the mother's funeral, I heard you say he had 18 months left. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he got 60. He got 63 days now.
That's my guy.
I'm glad I got y'all on V. You know, I'm giving it up, doing the official joint.
Doing the jumpy jump.
There you know it.
Yeah.
All right, baby. I got you. I'm gonna let him know you asked about him. But he'll be home in 63 days. We're gonna do it big for him.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
All right.
Definitely tell him I love my guy.
Okay, I will, Cat. Yeah, so it's the 1200 building right here. We used to have mad big dice games under here. You know, Jesus stayed in the next building. Unfortunately, one of the last times that I seen my man, little Sharif, that was taught by wonderful Shamik from out of the powerhouses, pink houses. He had an older brother named Victorious. But the last time I seen Sharif, rest in power, we done had basketball tournaments for him and everything. Little Sharif used to like to gamble. So he would come over from pink houses, and because he was God, he was good, you know? I used to always make sure that if he won that money, I walk him all the way to, you know, the other side until he get, you know, where he's safe. But that was another young brother that went, you know, way too fast. Okay? Understand some of this too, people. If I don't mention your name, you know, it's been a long time. I'm getting ready to be 60. I remember a lot of things, and I might had your name, you know, on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, this Jesus building, my man Brett Lawrence Sangria, you know, a bunch of other cats that live in this building, Slouch, Steven, you know, Stephen, Harris before they moved up on Linden Plaza. Shout out to Slouch and Nubia. They doing their thing. Yeah, so these are the buildings that separate us from the 18 side. The 1200s, we always, you know, call it the front, southern side. Where I'm walking to right now is across the street. There's a deli that's sitting on the corner, But at that time, Jamaican Chris had that spot. And he was selling weed out of it. Now this is the building, that infamous, you know what I'm saying, Domino, Curtis Gibbs. And unfortunately right here, I loved it, that brother. Domino was one of the flyest cats out here back then that existed. But right here in the grass is where he got murdered, and he had a 45 on him, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. In this building, you know, is where Domino, Curtis Gibbs, and his brother that Glaze, you know, said was shooting at him, that he called crazy. Also Dirty Ron, another one of my brothers before he moved out of here, Willis Jenkins, Bobby Oates, whole bunch of individuals. Shout out to Dirty Ron, his sister Sharon. Dirty Ron too, his half brother was my man Inch, Little Inch from Gershwin Projects. You also had the other Inch that was from Rutland Road, you know, was another get money, famous Brooklyn thug, you know. Over here, my man Jeffrey Swink, you know, a bunch of other cats that live. This building is, you know, serious. I'll tell y'all that story later on. This is where we had our final standoff. Me and infamous Little Rick Martin, Tut, you know, the whole crew. I'll tell you about that story, you know, later on as we go through the adventures of God in them streets. All right. Once again, as you can see, all over the projects, they got these big lights that they got in all the projects in Brooklyn at night. They come on, just like those lights come on when we in the penitentiary late at night. So like I said, it's never hard to adjust when you already come out of an environment that is so much similar to prison. All right, we getting ready to walk over here to the famous Glaze building, which is 1266 Sutter Avenue, that he talk about all the time. We used to have a lot of infamous dice games under this building too, especially with his brother Kool-Aid. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Kool was always on it. He was always gambling, getting money. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing, you know. And this building right here was the building my man Robert Rice used to live in. And that was my partner at that time. He was the main one that came walking out with me. I think that was around 1974. Over in my building, 345, in the middle of a gang fight between the Sex Boys and the Buccaneer Lords. All right, I'm walking down this little strip right here. You know, we used to sit over here on the benches, drink Brass Monkey, Tanqueray, you know. This is where all the bad chicks was too on this side. Rhonda, Sheree, Kim, you know. All of them, you know, Sheree ended up being Glaze's wife. Kim, she had babies by Jesus. You know, I heard Rhonda's still fine as hell, but haven't seen her in years. But anyway, this building right here, I think Mr. Ellis, Robert and them stayed in my man Robert Rice building, but if they didn't, then they had to stay in this building right over here, and that's where the Dotsons was from. And Mikey Dotson, Jamie Dotson, Pete Dotson. I think they had another older brother named Tony Dotson. Also, the Anderson brothers, Phil and Terry, you know. I don't know if Phil is still here, but my girl Shauna, that I love very, very much, rest in peace. She had her first child by Phil. The Anderson boys, they was fly as hell back in the days. And Shauna, you know, she was one of the all-time fly girls when it came to dressing. You know, Cat Cavey lived in this building right here. I dealt with his sister Tammy for a little while, freckle-faced Tammy. You know, nah, the hood go. They got plenty of chicks I guess I could mention. But anyway, you know, they was the innovators when it came to hip-hop and all that. And this is what you call the Sutter side. So, I think I'm gonna move just a little bit more, give y'all a little bit more footage before I shut it down, you know? But this bench right here, shoot, remember the OGs getting me ripped off of that Brass Monkey, Tangeray, shit like that, excuse my expression, you know? Unfortunately, there ain't a lot of people that's out here like it used to be. But I know I'll come through here one time, maybe in the summer, and get a whole bunch of people that I know, you know. But I missed a lot of people at Cook's funeral the other day. My man El Rahim, Jeff, you know, like I say, Christmas twins, you know, John's brother Batman, they from the other side from Pennsylvania. But like I said, we all knew each other growing up. It was official tissue, and everybody knew, you know. So, as you can see, once again, you can see from my side, anything coming from the park, anywhere, we can always see what's going on, you know? So my side is the front on Fountain side, and then this is the middle. The middles, we get it in all the time. Hey, yo, man, what you doing so jiggy with all that? Hey, what you doing so jiggy with all that Brooklyn stuff on? Oh, you ain't gonna say nothing, man? And I'm trying to give you some shine and you ain't gonna say nothing, man? That's how you gonna get down with Big Shot? Huh? At least say peace. What's your name, man?
Peace, Kev.
Carol?
Kev.
All right. I like your get up, man. You got our style, man. Keep it going. But anyway, right here is the infamous Drac building. You know, anybody from Brooklyn, they know about Drac. Drac didn't sell no drugs, but he was the king of Midtown, you know, hitting them pockets. Unfortunately, he went away for a born Cypher Divine Y that he didn't even do. But that ain't nothing new. There's so many brothers from my hood that got locked up on those. And the ones that they got locked up on, not saying that they might not have done other ones, but the ones that they locked them up on, you know, they didn't do. But anyway, this the middle, you know, brick building over there. But this building right here is Drac building. He used to always be leaning out the window, had his cars over here, everything, you know. Drac was really doing it, wearing bigger jewelry than a lot of these niggas out here that was so-called drug dealers, hustlers. But anyway, I think I gave y'all enough little footage, you know, of Cypress. So I'm gonna let this go for the moment, and I'll be getting back with y'all. Peace.